Today, an emotional return to the ice for a youth hockey team from California, about 24 hours after a deadly crash on I-70 involving their team van. Manuel Lorenzana Villegas was killed as he drove his daughter's team from California to the tournament in Littleton. Colorado State Patrol says a CDOT plow driver lost control on I-70 near the tunnel yesterday morning, crashed through a median, and hit that hockey team's van. Villegas, the father, died at the scene. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Kyle Clark.
I'm Alexandra Lewis. The girls decided as a team to compete in the tournament they came to Colorado for. 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj spoke with the Flyers head coach tonight. Shalima.
Good evening. Todd Stelnick is one proud father. His daughter also plays on the hockey team, and he says that after a couple of hours of going back and forth on whether to play, it was time to lace up their skates.
There's a lot of crying, right? For everything.
The SC Flyers may be a long way from home, but they are not alone.
Every skate, every goal, every save, every move.
Every act of kindness and compassion.
Way to go, girls!
You think hockey is a small community. It's really a big community.
Head coach Todd Stelnick says it all holds special meaning for his team.
It has gone viral. And sticks out on the front porch, hanging jerseys on the front porch, candles on the front porch. Seeing everybody do this in the United States and Canada, my best friend doing it, it just means so much.
The Flyers won both of their games on Friday, a day after tragedy struck the team. 3 players were traveling with their families along I-70 near Clear Creek County on Thursday when the van they were in was hit by a snowplow. The father of one of the players didn't survive.
And he just loved watching his daughter play. I mean, we called her and her line mate that was in the accident the Bumblebee line.
Stelnick says all of the players have been released from the hospital.
One of the players that got injured, she is one of the Bumblebee girls. She's so tenacious and fearless. And she ended up playing this morning's game.
Despite the recent events, the Flyers are 2-0 right now in the tournament. Stelnick credits being back in the barn with helping lift their spirits.
The girls wanted to play for their teammates and for their families. It wasn't just about playing the game of hockey and winning a championship.
Now, the Los Angeles Kings also reached out to the team to offer their support. Coach Stelnick says they are also filled with such gratitude for the Coloradans who've rallied around them. They say that support is what's getting them through right now. They're back on the ice tomorrow. Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.
Following the crash, youth hockey clubs across Colorado are putting competition aside and doing what they can to help. In Breckenridge, we found a pond hockey tournament turning into a show of support. Organizers say teams competing this weekend are being asked to donate to help support the club from California. They say the response reflects hockey's team-first culture, with players and families rallying around one another beyond the ice.
Hockey's the ultimate team sport, right? It's never, we always say, we never say I, we say we. You know, we own our defeats and share our victories, and it's kind of the culture that we set up here, and it's kind of the culture you see everywhere in hockey.
The tournament kicked off tonight in Breckenridge.
Now to a live look at Breck, where the high country could see some flurries as we head into the weekend. Very little accumulation is expected. Warm-ups in the forecast across the Denver metro area and the rest of the Front Range with highs near 60. Meteorologist Kathy Savins along now with details on yet another beautiful but just weirdly warm weekend.
Yep, we're hoping new month, new weather pattern. Signs of the La Nina pattern may be breaking down, and we may be seeing a shift there, but not tonight, not tomorrow, and not for the weekend. So a quiet, calm night in Denver, pretty sunset. Some pictures coming in from the Jackson Lake area. Louise Watkins with that. Temperatures in the mid-30s in downtown Denver, but much colder in extreme northeastern Colorado, western Nebraska, and Kansas, where some very cold air is lingering. Earlier today, winds out of the east and north, now shifting southwest. That's going to help to warm us up. Tracking snow showers in northeastern Colorado, moving northwest to southeast. They're starting to dissipate and move out as high pressure becomes the center over Colorado. This is a long and Arctic front that's keeping a batch of really cold air from moving our way. That cold air is headed south into Florida and then will interact with a coastal low to bring heavy snow to the Carolinas and possibly the Northeast. We're looking at a little snow in the mountains tonight and tomorrow. Denver, however, is headed for a warming trend. We'll jump 10 degrees over today's high temperatures after a chilly overnight period. So above average temperature trend for Denver for the weekend, but the mountains could be looking at snow. More on that forecast ahead.
A driver is in custody after a hit-and-run death tonight in Aurora. Police say the crash happened at 13th and Peoria just after 8 p.m. 2 people were taken to the hospital. One of them, an adult, has since died. The other, a minor, is in serious condition. Aurora police say they were able to track down that driver nearby at Nome Park.
Today, the Senate voted to fund most of the government through the end of September. The vote came after President Trump made a deal with Democrats to carve out Homeland Security funding and allow Congress to debate new restrictions on federal immigration raids across the country. With the weekend shutdown looming, Trump made the rare deal with Senate Democrats yesterday. It came in the wake of the deaths of 2 protesters at the hands of federal agents in Minneapolis. So under this agreement, the Homeland Security money will continue at current levels for 2 weeks, while lawmakers consider Democratic demands to unmask agents, to require more warrants, and allow local authorities to help investigate incidents. The bill now heads to the House, which is not due back until Monday. So that means the government would be in a partial shutdown temporarily over the weekend until they pass it. A nationwide protest against immigration enforcement and the killings of those 2 people in Minneapolis took place today. Thousands of people, including students, joined the No School, No Work, No Shopping call to action. That was the scene at La Alma Lincoln Park this afternoon. Protesters were heard chanting "Si se puede," which roughly translates to "Yes, you can." The walkouts also affected school operations. We saw several districts reporting closures, delays, or staffing shortages as students and teachers participated. We saw a small group gathered outside North High School this afternoon before they walked the nearly 2 miles to the state capitol, where they were joined by thousands of students from other schools across the state. Many said they felt a responsibility to speak out on what they describe as civil and human rights issues.
This is us using our First Amendment rights, which were created for this very purpose. We have a tyrannical government right now that's really cracking down on the rights and freedoms of U.S. citizens.
A number of local restaurants, cafes, and some other small businesses voluntarily closed their doors in solidarity with the nationwide strike.
State public health leaders have confirmed a suspected outbreak of avian flu in chickens at a large commercial egg farm in Weld County. Lieutenant Governor Diane Primavera, acting as governor with Governor Polis out of state, issued a disaster declaration today. The move allows state agencies to better coordinate to fight the bird flu outbreak. CSU testing confirmed that new outbreak. The state's going to be getting a second lab's confirmation from out of state. That's expected to come Monday. The state says this is the first commercial farm outbreak of avian flu since mid-2024.
Because of the chilly overnight temperatures, the city and county of Denver has activated its cold weather shelter plan. Denver's Department of Housing Stability started providing extra shelter at 1 this afternoon. They're expected to close sometime tomorrow morning when the temperatures warm back up. Individuals in need of shelter should go to the city's front door shelter access points, which have expanded capacity for cold weather. Individual men should go to the Denver Rescue Mission, Lawrence Street Community Center. Individual women are welcome at Samaritan House. And for youth and adults ages 12 to 14, head to Urban Peak. Families can go to the End at Highland.